Hey RATBAGGERS, it's Jade back again with, yes, even more brand new gameplay footage of Grounded 2 and a huge ton of answers about your favourite buggies. First look at Archetypes, the brand new armours and what they're effectively called in classes. And just a ton more as Obsidian have taken part in a podcast style little video talking to their brand new director. Adam Brennicky is gone. He's not working on Grounded in the main capacity. He is this new guy that's been with actually Obsidian since the very start, which honestly makes me feel a bit better. But loads of stuff to go through, including, yes, this pneumatic tubes that will be fast travelling between. Maybe that's why we don't really need zip lines. Confirmed 10 brand new armor sets at launch. Return in mutations and their buffs, but some changes and some brand new ones. The mysterious stranger, or a mysterious stranger, is returning, and it looks like we're going to have maybe a boss tarantula in the game. As always, going to give you my impressions as we play it and watch it, and go over some of the screenshots that I've taken afterwards, as well as all the info. So leave a like and make sure you subscribe for the biggest and best news, guides and gameplay of Grounded 2 when it comes out. Let's go. So some really good shots of the teens again, going through some of the areas that we saw as part of the first trailer, and of course more base building. We know we're going to get new walls and some sort of new thatch piece, but straight off this is probably the biggest reveal maybe alongside the archetypes. Earlier today I told you guys in a short that Burgle is pretty much dead, or at least missing his head, and we need to repair him. And of course we need to explore inside Burgle, and it looks like we'll be going between the floors by using these pneumatic tubes, which hopefully means we'll be able to travel to maybe other laboratories and things. It's been a little bit of concern from players that the news some of the zip lines won't be returning just yet. They've said they wanted to see how players responded to buggies and maybe implement a way for zip lines to be used with buggies. But man, if this is going to be like their kind of method to fast travel instead of telepotties, this is pretty cool, especially we see some of the animations and stuff zipping between certain points on the map. This system is called PTS, Pneumatic Transit System. And it also means there's 5 levels of Burgle that we'll need to explore, perhaps maybe to repair him fully, or possibly just recover some sort of data, item or device. Then moves on to some other shots in areas we've kind of seen before, like obviously building a base in front of a news camera that's been dropped on the floor. Then it does cut to more of the buggy riding on your pet soldiers. Now they've said the All Weavers are going to be quite late in the game at launch. We will be able to pet our mounts. We're going to be able to use their inventory as they'll have their own. And on mild and regular game modes, they don't die. Instead, they get knocked out and you won't be able to use them for a few hours. Only on hard or woe mode will it be able that they may die permanently. Some more shots of the ice cream truck biome. And we're going to get confirmation later that indeed there are red scorpions, I guess. My first hunch was correct, but then I kind of whittled it down and said, nah, it can't be, but it does look like there will be red scorpions. We also get more of a sweeping shot of the laboratory that's inside the Billy hot dog stand as it pounds around some of the locations. In terms of the story, it does seem like we were at this event for sure, taking part in the unveiling ceremony, and then we wake up and we've already been shrunken after the explosion. So that seems to be when we're going to be maybe approached by Omninant, or we find some Omninant laboratories to get our Omni tool and basically find our bearings. We see more longer shots of the graffiti on the walls, and I've got a big video talking about the speculation of who I think that is. But it's definitely a large laboratory that seems pretty friendly and early since we haven't got any weapons or gear on us right now. Now, according to the press interviews, we are going to undertake some sort of training mode, and that's where we get given some of our stuff. That ladder definitely leads to Burgle now, I think that's confirmed. It's literally the treads to him, I do believe. We've forgotten our memory because that's what shrinking to you does, so we have no kind of short-term recollection of how or why we've been shrunken, but we do remember how we survived in the original backyard. That's what the devs have said. Some nice shots of these like ice tunnels and things that we're going to have to go and explore, like ice caverns. And then more shots of our and in combat. Does look like we'll also be able to gather up things much quicker now. We're not individually tapping to get any loose arrows on the floor. They've said the same mechanic that applies to our buggies, our mounts, where they can pick up resources just by walking over them, is going to apply to us and things like fallen arrows. And yet we are going to have extra inventory space via the buggies that we can of course pet. I've said that once, yeah, why not? 2 times. We can pet the buggies. Slightly more close-up shot of the ant stable, which we'll be using to hatch our ant eggs that we've stolen. And that'll be the same method for the spiders, the orb weavers, eventually once we get the orb weaver stable as well. And various fighting using our mounts against cockroaches and more. This looks like it's the reading stand given some of the hinges on it. So we're going to find obviously orb weavers there, as well as maybe some champagne. And more of the bugs that we already knew were here, like stink bugs and stuff. Our bugs will fight for us even with us not actually riding them. And as you would expect, there's going to be more anthills for us to go down and explore too, to obviously get more of the eggs, but also spider holes. So yeah, it's going to be a while till we can get this actual orb weaver mount. Again, repeating what I said earlier. So don't expect to be riding around on orb weaver in the first couple of hours. It looks like it will be the ant soldiers that are going to be our main fast and reliable steed, but nowhere near as quick or as dangerous as actually having an orb weaver. There's lots of concern as well about the Omni tools and people not wanting them, preferring to have separate axes, hammers and stuff. I really can't see why. I understand maybe upgrading them with certain resources, that makes sense. You still want that kind of grind. But look how cool it is to just bash through something with your ant mount. I'm going to talk about that in a bit more detail in another video. Look how fast these guys can go. I love the new effects in them. Also, this puts paid to the idea that the statue is the thing that exploded. Burgle is in fact dead, or at least his head is missing, it isn't the statue. We saw a tiny glimpse of a snail there, and obviously killing and harvesting an actual stink bug. But then it moves on to the really exciting thing with some of the archetypes. You're still going to be able to combine different gear and different kind of stats and stuff with your mutations and perks, but it does look like they've simplified or put a bunch of them together. At the start I did tell you guys that maybe there would be red scorpions, and I've been back and forth about this, but actually again, looking at it, it does look like it's just a regular scorpion hit with some sort of spicy debuff. Like yes, it's very red, you can see it's very clearly red and glowing a little bit, but in this shot, just before it gets hit with the spicy, it is indeed actually just a regular scorpion. So it's still jury out whether or not we'll see actual fully red scorpions on their own, or whether or not it is in fact the spicy, which is actually called sizzling now, just complete. I think they've got rid of that. It's going to be sizzling when it's on bugs at least anyway. But yeah, just to clarify a bit more. New for bows at least, we now see how much critical damage they can do, and I'm hoping this is going to apply to other weapons too, obviously. We've always had damage, stun and speed, but now yeah, critical has been added. So back to archetypes. A lot of the perks are going to be pretty similar, although you may have changed some of them around. Like Sharpshooter used to be that you get more chance of landing critical hit damage with each run of the perk. So kill 40 creatures, it'd be 10. Kill 100 creatures, it'd be like 15. Kill 200, it would be 20. But now the Sharpshooter perk has been changed to charge shots gain the critical hit chance. Then you can see it's got other stuff underneath it like Bowmaster. So again, final upgrade perks maybe once we upgrade our weapons. No clarification what it actually will entail, if it's changed from anything that we might have seen before.
We're starting off with 4 of them. There's like a warrior, a ranger, a mage, and a rogue. They're the basic D&D types. And these aren't classes that you'll select, but there are things in the interface to help the player understand, like if I want to go do this today, maybe with all of my friends, I'm going to be the ranger who's going to support them from a distance. Oh, I should take this armor. I should take this weapon. I should select these mutations right now. And it will really help guide that player experience in a way that we think will just sort of make playing Grounded easier and more fun.
We have 10 completely new armor types in the game, and I'm a big armor fan, and seeing kind of how cool the mage armors look. We have an evolved ladybird armor that just looks like kind of like real sword and board kind of feeling. And just like Halo, you got a dual wield when you get to the sequel, right? I mean, that's the obvious choice, but go ahead, Chris.
It's much fun, but I'm kind of a bit sad. They talk about their rogue class and it isn't going to be any additional sneak damage. In fact, it's still going to be just more about sneaking up on enemies for sure, but absolutely no additional damage just because you're sneaking. And that really does suck. I do like the idea of Grounded finally having a good use for sneak. The rogue's cool. It is obviously using the Orb Weaver Spider Fang daggers in dual wielding. And by using certain armors like that one, then yeah, we're going to have a bit of maybe better parry or maybe dash alongside stronger attacks. But yeah, to me, still a bit of a shame it's not a viable playstyle. I guess we've got to get them suggestions in to the depths. They also spoke about having, obviously, the mage class being developed a lot more, having more consistency when you're firing, and just having more control when you're firing some of your mage shots. It's pretty exciting news to hear about 10 different armor sets though for sure, so I'm guessing we can still really mix and match a lot of them, and hopefully it is going to just mean that things are a bit more simple to us when deciding what armor set we're going to go with to fit whatever playstyle we really want to try. If you hadn't noticed, also during one of their little things they'd said that Grounded hit something like 20 million or 25 million players now. I'm pretty sure it's 25 million because it was 20 million just as the PlayStation version was launching. And shout out to my only down map I created, still getting some love in some of these showcases. But yeah, they spoke a lot about taking what was good about Grounded 1 and maybe really going ham on the suggestions from players in the community about what they would like to add to Grounded 2 from everything they learned over the years. We know a lot of the press reports stated that we wouldn't be able to have mounts on the older version because it simply just wouldn't make sense, the map was too small and technical limitations. But now we've got a larger map, we've got more room to have these mounts. And they basically finish off this podcast talking about how important community is, also a little bit about how Eidos Montreal have been big fans of Grounded and absolutely are going to be some of their best supporting partners, obviously making the game. And why early access was really needed, really, to take on board everything since they're going so much bigger. So onto some of the mutations. Pheromone shot means we're getting it from something called Axel. Axel's venom has seeped into your sweat glands, imbuing your perfect shots with seething rage. Pretty much sounds like it's going to be a tarantula, since it literally says killed a tarantula. Now I was debating whether that meant maybe just a wolf spider. Seems it has some other perks as well, like buggy threat, so I'm guessing that's going to make your bugs more of a danger in terms of getting attacked by other creatures. Parry Master returns, giving us extreme advantage when blocking attacks. Perform 30, perform 80, perform 150. Trapper Peeper, collect 20 gold cards, collect 40, collect 60, and yeah, it gives you more chance of performing critical hits. It's pretty much the same, as well as receiving yoke blows, or that's going to be the name of the buff when it's applied. There's going to be at least 9 brand new mixer events, as you can see here, different stages for completing them. Again, giving us increased damage to creatures in defense events, so that probably means we're still going to get raids on our bases. Frenzy allows us to deal melee weapon damage and regenerate health while enraged. So pretty much barbarian, but take a look again, defeat the mysterious stranger to unlock it. Kind of crazy unlocking a whole playstyle behind killing one certain creature. Got something called the Spider Stringer, a high quality bow made of sinewy orb weaver chunks. I mean, it looks like just a regular kind of level 2 bow to me, but hey, I guess it's the evolution. Close up on max, it does look like the scabs will change colour, or at least they are maybe tailored to whatever team you are until you find more, since technically there are no scabs anymore since we got the power glove. Ladybug armor has had a bit of a glow up in some ways, but it's still going to be a tier 2 armor. And what you're seeing is the bonuses that you can earn underneath, like fighter armor and bargain block. So that's got to be related to upgrading, and we've confirmed that there is some of the marble and quartz type stones that we're going to have to collect again to upgrade. The wolf's fangs are obviously something we'll get from the wolf spider that are going to inflict venom. So is that a different venom from what we saw earlier? Like with the pheromone shot? Extremely high critical damage as well as speed. And this tier 2 mage is called Glacial Sting, made out of the tail of a scorpion by looks of things, and it will do fresh candy damage, also launching globs of frigid goo that linger and chill your enemies. It's not much critical hit, not much speed, but lots of stun. You can see the chilling attack underneath it, so that's the set bonus, I guess. As in a set bonus for the weapon, not a set bonus for armor. A few other incidental things, some of Discord popped out that, yep, cockroaches are also going to be firing acid at us. It does look like unfinished buildings, including this feeding trough. Yes, you're going to have to feed your pets. Instead of unfinished base parts being just blue, they may be a little bit more ghost white now. Yes, we're going to have trophies again. You can see the scorpion head nest in here. So yep, I'm more hyped than ever. If you think I've missed anything, come into my Discord and let me know, or comment down below, and I will be posting any extra details I find. Like I said, come join my Discord. We've got loads of different channels set up to share your pictures, conspiracies, theories and more. And check out my link tree to follow me on X, TikTok, and yeah, my Discord link. Until next time, Ratbags, I'll catch you later.